Kelly's finger puppets went nuts, and now the camera doesn't know what's going on. We got $35 for the shrimp.
Oh, baby.
Flies.
A happy moment.
Killa makes English optional.
Well, let's be honest. When I'm sober, English is optional.
This is pretty much as Barbie as it's gonna get. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the 5th or 6th.
We're losing track already at this point.
I think it's the 5th.
Right. That's fine.
Square Table, episode 5, I think this is. So technically the 6th because we started with 0.
That's fine. That's fine.
Forgive me if I seem off tonight. I am shot. Today was...
It's been a long day.
Big weekend. Addie's, or Adeline's first birthday party. So...
You know kids don't stay the same size forever?
Yeah.
Did you know that?
It's kind of crazy.
It's weird.
Kind of crazy.
Wild.
But yeah, basically standing in front of barbecue all day. I think I'm a little dehydrated, a little hot.
It's a
on
little
the verge
warm.
of possibly passing out after we basically just filmed the entire unboxing of this before we started to get him on here. Hopefully upload that, cut that up and make a nice short of it. Get that up tomorrow. But this is the Kami Arts Megazord, and it's about 20 inches tall, maybe a little bit taller if you go all the way to the peak of the sword.
I was gonna say if you go to the tip of the sword, he's definitely taller than 20 inches. This is a good. I don't even think he's 20. I think he's more. From the bottom of the base to maybe the tip of his shoulders, he might be like close to 24. I really want to get a tape measure, but he's big.
Man, maybe we
He's
should
beautiful.
go get one.
No, he's beautiful. I love it. But you and I I guess we could start with this. If you want to start,
Yeah,
you wanna
might as well.
Might as well.
It's right,
middle
right
of everything.
Middle of everything, yeah.
Yeah, no, he is.
So yeah, your impressions. Evandro's actually upset that I apparently didn't tell you about
Yeah, you
this.
didn't tell me about this.
That doesn't exist. I'm sorry. So he's a little upset.
I'm a little
with
mad
me.
about it. I'm a little mad about it because I bought the other 2 Megazords that you had in the store that were beautiful, and in this sense, I can't wait for those to come in.
Yeah, but those are like,
You know me. It's a giant robot, man. If it doesn't transform, why do I need it? But this does not transform. This is a statue. I like it. I think the detail's great. He's clean. He's very there's no real errors, but you see it. Some of the more finer paint, you could tell it's not as clean. It's very, and I know you don't like the finish.
yeah. I would definitely say, while I do really like the piece, I love the pose here and everything.
Oh yeah, the pose is great.
After seeing a couple shots of of the battle damage one, I kind of feel like that might have been the better paint app to go with, only because I feel like the paints that they used here make it look more like a toy.
Yeah, which I'm okay with.
I mean, yes,
I'm okay
because
with
I get that, but
I know what you're saying.
yeah,
I know what you're saying.
I wish everything was a little bit more poppy. It popped a little bit more. Some of the silver details had some kind of weathering on it. The silver on this is
it's clean.
It's too clean.
Yeah, it's too clean.
It's too clean to where it looks more like a toy and not.
You know what's funny too?
High-end statue.
If you look at his fists, his hands, there's weathering on there.
I wish the whole thing kind of had that.
Yeah, if a lot of the chrome had this same kind of it's minor. It's literally just looks like a slight fade when you when you rub metal for too long. But overall, I think it's a beautiful piece. But I agree. I think a 7 out of 10 is a good.
Yeah, that's definitely what I would rate it. I really like the base. The base has all the Power Ranger heads at the bottom here.
It does light up. We'll turn it on here for a second just so you can see it.
So their eyes, the visors all light up. But then again, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the actual like logo itself,
Yeah, this here.
kind of doesn't. Like one of the weird things is like it's.
I honestly think this looks nicer with it off.
Yeah, like when
Like-
it's on, it actually looks really kind of bad.
Because you know what it is? I feel like it might be the LEDs that they used.
Yeah,
But the cool thing is all the visors on the Power Rangers are all black, and when you turn them on, they all turn white, which I think is cool.
yeah. No, I dig the base a lot.
I do like the pose. And now that I look at it more, I think it bothers me that he's not holding the Mastodon head as a shield.
Yeah,
Like that should have been. I feel like that should have been there because it like that completes the whole Zord. Like
yeah, definitely. I
But-
agree with that. But really cool piece though. But yeah, I guess my only complaint is like I wish there was some more weathering carried over. Whereas I know there is a battle damage version 1, and I guess they wanted to really hammer home like that was the battle damage one.
Yeah.
But the reason why I didn't go for that one is because of like it didn't come with the 2 heads. Like if it would have came with the second head, like so you can swap them out. Because I didn't like the damage on the face.
okay.
You know, so it's like certain things like that. So that's
Yeah,
why
yeah.
I'm just like,
So it only came with the one head.
yeah,
that's
like
just
the
damaged.
battle damage one was the battle damage one.
Yeah.
There was no, there was no in between. It's just like it's either super clean or it's super dirty.
How do you think this will compare to the other ones that you got coming in? You think?
I mean, size wise, it's not.
I mean,
a
obviously
comparison.
this is gigantic.
I mean, the
but
one that I'm still really excited for is the. Oh man, who's doing that one? Oh my goodness. Yeah, pull up Kaiju Live Shop right now. Oh my god, it's completely slipping my
which?
mind.
But
The Dino one, like the one that's got, like the one that's like stylized.
Yes.
That's definitely something I can't wait to have. I think that might end up being like in terms of Megazord, that's gonna be. So who makes that one again?
Kara Curry.
Yeah, but by who?
Mine Dino Megazord. This would be
Flame Toys.
Flame Toys. Yes.
Yeah, that one I think is going to be.
Plus, I'm a big fan of giant transforming monsters. That one will come apart. You can get each individual Zord by itself.
Yeah,
and
I
pose
think-
them.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of that Voltron that I picked up from you. That you can literally just pose each individual thing or combine it together. I
Yeah.
think is going to be sick.
So this is like a competing company. This is Flame Toys. I believe that was Bandai. That was Soul of Chogokin.
It's their first one.
Yeah. But yeah, the Flame Toys dinosaur looks.
Yeah, it looks really
ridiculous.
good. I'm a big fan of the. I always appreciate it, especially like the Megazord. The pterodactyl to me was always just like meh. But now with that, the pterodactyl's on the wings. Oh, it looks
Chris.
so good.
Chris, don't act like you don't got some big boys there, sir. All right. But yeah, I definitely, I think a 7 out of 10 is really fair. It has a presence, but it's one of those figures like as you get close to, especially the base seems very.
Like if you
no,
look
no,
at
I'm talking about the actual base.
Yeah,
Like the building, like the rubble here is very
very bland.
bland.
It just doesn't. It's not as detailed. But if you also look at the paint on the saber-toothed tiger, it looks kind of like. It just looks. It's bland. It's not much to it. It looks like somebody just sat there and painted it.
it's just
Didn't really
like-
like sit there with detail about it.
Yeah, it's like we got silver. All right, that's silver,
yeah,
and then that's it.
that's it.
But
It's definitely got the presence there.
yeah, and again, the poses.
The pose is the best part.
Phenomenal.
I love that he's standing on the rubble and it's not just like a plain base. I think that's cool.
But then I did see one as we were actually trying to. The head is supposed to light up as well, the eyes, but you need a separate battery, which they don't tell you about in the directions. Which
It's
is
also
kinda,
not included.
I get that a lot of things now don't ship with any batteries. A lot of that because of Australia's rules.
Yeah,
Because like, if there's a battery pack of any kind, Australia's like, we can't take this.
No, we can't.
Which is,
But honestly, I've seen that a lot, especially with the now it's happening more and more with the smaller like disc batteries. You don't really find like it used to be like everything came with that. Nowadays, it's like you gotta find them for yourself. Captain Morgazord.
but yeah, this is.
No, definitely a great piece.
I'm excited. The only one that I think could top this. Who was the other one? Was that Way Studios? The one that we were looking at before that had the Mastodon.
Oh yeah.
So it was kind of almost the pose was similar, but almost like the reverse because he had the sword down
Right.
instead of up.
Right.
And then the big
He actually,
difference
he's actually like
was
holding it down to his side, and he's holding the mastodon head as the shield.
I'm kind of shocked this doesn't come with the mastodon head.
It's
a little weird.
Yeah, and I mean, it was never. I mean, I watched this show to death when I was a kid, so I could tell you.
Sometimes it's there, sometimes
I can
it's
tell you
not.
from experience, it's not always there. And like they show it, but they never actually like use it. He's always got the sword. I think the decision to not use it is fine, but I would have preferred it with it. Is all I'm saying.
Chris asks a serious question here.
Uh
This is serious.
oh. Ooh. Probably the Megazord. I'm gonna go
Really?
with probably the Megazord. Because
Explain, sir. By the way, the question: who wins in a fight?
Megazord,
Megazord
or Voltron?
Or
Voltron?
Voltron?
I think I want to say the Megazord. As much as I love Voltron,
But why? Like, give me the deets. Like, why?
so the pilots of Voltron are just pilots. There's nothing mythical or really alien about them. They're literally just humans piloting robotic lions. Now, it depends on which version of Voltron you're looking at. The original version of Voltron is very much like, hey, we're humans that are piloting like these kind of ancient machines that aren't that ancient. And if you watch the Netflix show, highly recommend. Great show. They changed that a little bit, and they kind of like bond with their lions. Like their lions have like this like sentience to them, but not really. Like it's a weird. They have like a weird like connection to it.
okay.
The Power Rangers get all their powers from an alien race. So the technology's alien, their suits are alien. Everything has that sense of like mystery about them that they have the potential to be something greater. Now, obviously, if any of you have ever watched Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, this Megazord does get destroyed eventually and becomes the Thunderzord, and then they just keep going on from there. But I mean, Voltron's got a lot of options. He's got a lot more armaments, I will give him that. He's got way more weaponry
But
than
does he
Megazord
have
does.
one of the greatest theme songs of all time when it comes out? You know, that's a big factor. It's a big factor.
I mean, I'm going to be honest, the original Voltron theme, pretty good. Not as
Is
catchy.
it Go-Go Power Rangers?
No, it is
I mean,
not as catchy as Go-Go
you know,
Power Rangers. Absolutely not.
You know,
but
Chris is right. The right answer, the Japanese Spider-Man mech leopard.
I mean,
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
obviously.
absolutely.
Obviously. Anything that basically resembles
That
a
show
Gundam.
is. Have you watched any? Like,
I've watched clips of that.
okay, yeah, that
It
show
is-
is insane.
Yeah. There's a lot of
And it-
madness there.
And it's what's wild to think is like that show is literally why we have all of this.
Yeah.
Like a Japanese Spider-Man show that almost had nothing to do with Spider-Man.
Almost nothing.
Like
Almost nothing. Very little.
Spider-Man killed people.
Yeah.
Like
So,
like all this crazy stuff and
fun fact about that show. Okay. Fun fact. So, have you ever, I mean, you don't usually read books, but there was a very
wow.
big book. You don't usually read books. Don't even like, what was the last book you read that wasn't a comic book?
Oh, well, come on.
Yeah. All right. Get out.
Graphic novel.
Yeah. No.
It would
no.
actually be Godzilla versus the Power Rangers. Thank you very much.
Anyway, there was a book that came out years ago called Ready Player One that they made a movie of.
Indeed.
Great book. In the movie, which I'm sure you've seen the movie, he pilots. There's a Gundam that comes out,
that's
and
not-
and Mechagodzilla. Like that whole thing that takes place in that final battle is great.
Wasn't that supposed to be Ultraman?
Yes, it was supposed to be Ultraman. Instead of the Gundam, it was supposed to be Ultraman, and his whole machine. So like he comes out and he fights Mechagodzilla. It's not supposed to be a Gundam. It's supposed to be the mech from Spider-Man, Japanese Spider-Man.
Oh,
In the book, that's what he pilots.
that's amazing.
Yeah. But they changed it because nobody's gonna know who the shit that is. Only you and only
I don't
like,
know. I think it was a rights thing. One, they're not.
that
having-
might be too.
having
That
Ul-
might be good too.
No
but I'm
one
saying
was
like
allowing Ultraman to fight Mechagodzilla on screen.
no.
Never.
No.
Never.
The cool-
Especially in a U.S. movie.
Yeah.
No.
Dude, the
chance.
cool thing is in the book, he has like this, it just looks like a pill, like a big pill, and he uses that, and that's what transforms him into Ultraman, and he wrecks shit. It's great. It's a great scene in the book.
Wander X, if you could choose, what monster of the week would you like to go with?
Ooh, what monster of the week would I go with?
What, from
I don't know.
Power Rangers?
I guess.
Well, you're asking like from Power Rangers, right?
I'm assuming.
I'm just a huge Goldar fan.
So that was my whole problem with the show. Like Goldar never had a real chance to shine
Yeah,
until
he was
Lord Zed showed up.
He was basically the best one that she had, and she never let him fight.
Have you ever read? I just recently read the Power Rangers TMNT comic. Okay, have you read that?
I have not read it, but I know what you're talking
There's a scene where Shredder, spoiler alert, Shredder morphs into the Green Ranger and shows up in Rita's base. And all the other guys that are around Rita are like, I only make putties. I only make monsters. And Goldar's like, get the fuck out of here. I'm going to fight him myself. And he grows like his wings because Rita never let him have his wings. But Lord Zed did. Ask me why. Rita sucks.
Yeah.
But so he like, there's a whole panel where he fights the Green Shredder. And then they like come to an agreement. Like Rita's like, oh, I'll help you defeat the turtles if you help me defeat the Rangers.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. And then
The
they
story
team
is
up.
all this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was always a huge Goldar fan. Like, I mean, does anyone remember, like, Goldar basically almost killed the Red Ranger?
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
literally
Wrecked
beat
him.
the absolute shit out of him.
So Chris also asks, how do we feel about the original White Ranger actor? You're talking about Jason David Frank, I'm assuming. Yes, actually, I was very saddened by that. He did a lot, and as much as he like he had a MMA career for a very, very short time.
Rhino Blaster.
Oh,
Oh, man.
His devotion to that franchise was always good. He appeared in many of the crossover episodes. He was big in Power Rangers Dino Thunder. Like he played the Black Ranger in that eventually. And he kept coming back to it. And he loved his fans. He loved the fans of these franchises.
And there's even that new movie coming out that he was working on.
Yes.
I think he's the White Ranger in it, but it's a different take.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, yeah, he was still doing it up until,
until the very end, really. No, he was like one of those like good human beings. Like every interview you ever saw with him, anytime he's on camera, he's always taking pictures with fans, talking to fans.
Like he was a guy
he took the time out.
He was that generational, like he loved Power Rangers. He wanted it. He just always wanted to be a part of it. And as a fan, I mean, it's hard not to love that.
Yeah.
Like,
granted,
like I'm a huge like first season. Like I just, as a giant monster fan and dinosaur fan, obviously season 1 just jumps out at me because I love the Megazord.
Of course,
the Dragon Zord obviously is literally just their version of Mecha Godzilla. The Green Ranger, like,
do you remember?
All of that
do you
is
remember?
phenomenal.
Do you remember when? So when the Green Ranger showed up, he was obviously evil. He was taken over by Rita because Rita contaminated the power coin.
Yeah,
because he was the first Ranger, so to speak.
Yeah, and he was he was being a real mean guy in high school. Real mean, super mean,
super jerk. Do you remember when the Megazord would combine with the Dragon Zord?
Yes.
And they would become the Mega Dragon Zord, whatever it was. Dragon Megazord, whatever it is. Do you remember when they combined with the Brontosaurus Zord to become the Ultra?
A giant tank.
Yeah, the cool thing about the figure, it came with like these plastic chains that you could put in the hands of the Megazord, and it would just roll away with it.
Dude, I will never forget the hype as a kid because I had the Megazord and the Dragon Zord.
Yes, of course you did.
And it was really hard to find the whatever the
I forget what it's called.
I know exactly what you're talking about. The white Brontosaurus Zord thing. I remember at the time it was super hard to like find that, or and one day at the mall, walked into KB Toys, and sure as shit, it was there, and I was
couldn't wait. I couldn't get it off the shelf fast enough.
Like I was like, Dad. And then, getting home and like making that thing.
It felt so good, right?
And it's like I still think I have those. I just don't know where they are.
I have like cheap like Canal Street knockoffs of the Megazords and the Dragon Zord because we were in the city one day and my dad saw them at a booth and I think my dad paid like $20 for them. I love them, just cheap as they're made. Leslie brings up a good point. Speaking of Tommy, which Ranger do we identify him with the most? I will say I identify him with the Green Ranger as much as I would probably say as the White Ranger, but I think the Green Ranger is where everybody knows him from. Like that's who Tommy is to me.
Yeah, I much prefer the Green Ranger over any
almost.
other.
I mean, you're biased.
Yeah, I'm biased.
You're a little biased on that.
My favorite color is green, so there's that.
There's that. He's also on a giant mechanical dragon
that
is literally just Mechagodzilla.
Yeah.
No, come on. We all know where that was going.
I mean, but the biggest conundrum though, like, how did he actually play that flute? It doesn't make any sense.
Do you know they talk about that in the comic book?
No.
They literally bring it up. Mikey literally asks, how does he play a flute through a metal faceplate? It doesn't get answered. It doesn't get answered in the comic.
And it shouldn't. It's just a mystery. It's just a mystery. I think it was Titanus or Titanus.
Titanus? Oh yeah, the Brano. Yeah. Leslie also asked, what is the coolest Zord that Tommy piloted? As much as I like the Dragon Zord,
It's the Dragon Zord.
as much as I like the Dragon Zord, this whole this thing that he's got going on, like, hold on, let me shoot my rocket. All right, we get it. You're Mechagodzilla. We got it. The Tiger Zord was probably the coolest looking one, and it was the most versatile because it could just like leap and jump and fly and all these things. Although, I will say, as the White Ranger, when they became the Ninja Rangers, Power Rangers Ninja, he did pilot the Falcon Zord, which was the cool ass like giant white falcon.
Yeah, the white falcon.
That he would literally just like put his wings forward and shoot like missiles out of the tips of his wings.
That was actually one of my favorite Power Ranger toys.
I had that Zord.
Yeah, I still have that.
I have that whole Megazord.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about that, he goes, I gotta pilot a frog. It's a frog. That movie's great. Ivan Ooze, man.
Ivan Ooze, the most broken fighting game character in any fighting game of all time.
in what? Injustice?
No. In they had a Power Ranger.
Oh, they had a Power Rangers
game, like
fighting
Super
game?
Nintendo or whatever. I think it was. Ivan Ooze broke
the game.
Broken, overpowered character in the history of fighting games. Literally, I think he had like 4 or 5 literal, like, unblockable, like, kiss of death.
No,
I'm telling you. Look it up.
We gotta find it.
YouTube it.
I gotta find it.
Ivan Ooze.
You know what? I got my Steam Deck. I'll get an emulator going. Let's see if I can find that game.
Yeah, man.
But
I'll give this a good,
good twirl.
A little twirl here. Get that sexy leg stride.
This piece, beautiful, beautiful.
Yep.
I'm jealous.
The statue collector in me, from stuff from Sideshow, obviously Spiral, XM. Again, I really would not go higher than a 7, and I kind of want to wish I can see the battle damage one in person to see if it.
So let's put it this way. So at this price point compared to the other ones,
you know what? Honestly, dude, I ordered this so long ago, I don't even remember what this is.
Well, I think we're saying like 5.
Can we look it up?
Can we look it up?
I got it from. From Sideshow Collectibles. Sideshow Collectibles, one of the best in the business.
I was completely wrong. He's 1,100.
Okay, 1,100. Okay, so then for the price point, then I'm gonna drop it down. I'm gonna say it's a 6 then.
Yeah, at like, because if it was like 7, 8,
even in that prototype picture, you can see the paint job is more of like, it's got that more chrome finish.
Yeah.
Whereas this has a very bland matte finish, which kind of gives it that toy aesthetic, as opposed to like taking
the colors are very vibrant here, and compared to the picture on the actual website, it's not as vibrant. It's got like the contrast is a little better. This is very bright, but
yeah, Chris, nothing easy. But man,
everybody thinks you're made of money.
Apparently.
Rolling in it. No, I think it's definitely a good piece, but I think for the price point, it's a little high.
You know what? Let's look up the. I think it's Way Studios. How much was theirs?
Way Studios?
I think it was Way Studios Megazord, because that has the Mastodon.
Has the Mastodon head. Let's see, Way Studios.
Did I get it right?
Yeah, you did. That one. Significantly more.
Oh.
It's 1,900 on their website.
All right. Well, I don't know.
It looks like it's like it's bigger.
Maybe just because the base is bigger.
I like this pose a little better. I'm gonna be honest. He's got like spread out. The sword is like stabbed in the ground.
Yeah,
it's a nicer pose.
Whatever, man.
And the Mastodon head lights up.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. That's dope.
No, but I mean, overall, yeah, I would say.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm dropping it down to a 6. You know, give it that price to sculpt ratio. Paint app, that jazz. Because
he is big. If you want something with presence, and so it does look good. Don't get us wrong, it does look good, but I don't know that I would spend.
As you get closer to it,
I don't know that I would spend the $1,100 on something like this.
See, and now you're all upset I didn't tell you about it. Now
I'm not.
You dodged the bullet.
Dodged the bullet on that one. Dodged the bullet.
But
all right, you want to go into the next segment? I think so.
This is going to be a shorter square table than normal, mainly because
it's been a long day, but we really just wanted to like chat.
We didn't want to miss.
We didn't want anything too much formal
because it's been what 2
weeks since the square table.
Yes.
Yeah,
and then
3 weeks since the square table. You had an auction show 2 weeks ago.
A 9/3, 100th episode, baby. I don't know what we're giving away yet. We're gonna figure that out this week. And then the YouTube channel, as we get to 2,000, we're going to do a 2,000 sub giveaway. So getting close. We're about 600 away. So
hell yeah. That's exciting.
If you're just tuning in, smash that. All right.
Please subscribe.
Let's talk about
the big money this week.
The big thing that dropped this week.
Big money this week. If no one recognizes this image, this is from the leak of the Apple TV Plus series.
It originally was a leak, but then
they officially announced it. They were like, all right, we got to get ahead of this.
Yeah. I think this initial picture leaked 20 minutes before
they made the announcement.
All the articles came out. I think was it Variety?
Variety.
I think they're the first.
The first one I saw IGN's.
But yeah,
that was my first
that entire one. Rolled out came out like that, and then the Optimus Prime Roboson that you have is where actually.
Let's not talk about that one.
Actually, that was cheaper because that was what
cheaper.
You bought it when it first came out.
So I have what's called the flagship edition, which is like the first run off the factory line. I think I have number 151 out of 500.
Speaking of edition size, this was number 28. 28 out of 400. So get that under that.
That Roboson is significantly cheaper than this. It was, I think, after taxes and shipping, I think it was like 8 something, 7 something, because I had to put $100 deposit and then it came out later. What bothers? Let's talk about Roboson for just a second because I'm a little annoyed at them. The Grimlock that came out. That Grimlock is twice the price of that Optimus.
Okay.
And it's also the same size. It's not any bigger.
But you got to understand, you're going to sell half the amount of Grimlocks that you are going to of Optimus Prime.
You think so?
Yes.
I mean, dude.
That's like, hey.
Listen, everybody, Grimlock is like one of the most well-known Transformers. Okay. He's up there with Optimus and Bumblebee. Like, you can recognize him right off the bat. You don't have to think about, like, who is that? Is that?
Well, I mean, it's the same thing like Godzilla.
Well, let me ask you a question. Can you name any of the other Dinobots? Exactly.
I'm not saying he's not popular, but I'm also saying he's not Optimus Prime.
No, obviously he's not Optimus Prime.
If I had to guess, his edition size is probably half of what they made. From Optimus.
I think it's like 800. This is the first run.
And like, what was Optimus? Probably like 5,000.
No, he was actually the flagship edition ones were only 500. There was only 500 of them on the first run, and then they made 5,000 for the second run.
Well, then I think you need to write a very angry letter.
But like my point, like what bothers me is like if he's gonna be double the price, like give me a bigger robot. I mean, yes, he does self-transform, guys. Man. He is voice activated. You could say, "Hey, Grimlock, transform," and he will do it.
Inflation's crazy right now. So between the launch of Optimus and Grimlock,
you know what's crazy? They came out with the trailer for Optimus too that self-transforms as well.
I know,
and it actually just like rolls up and locks into him.
It's amazing.
I have not bought that.
If they're listening right now, which I highly doubt, but
Robeson,
hey, if you are,
anytime. Sponsor us. Send us anything. We'll
do
review
it. Do a Mechagodzilla, man.
Oh my God. Yeah, we talked about that. Imagine they did a Mechagodzilla.
Do a show of Mechagodzilla. Just do it.
Just do it. It's fine. We're here for it.
Just do it, like, because the best one right now is that Bondi one. It's one of the best RCs ever because of everything it does. But seeing what Robosen can do,
dude,
with that Optimus, if that applies,
there's
to Mechagodzilla,
there's 60 servos in that thing because of how many moving and articulating parts it has. I mean, it's probably one of the greatest toys of all time. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, you can't call it a toy. It's one of the greatest collectibles.
Yeah, I love it.
Don't insult it.
I love it.
But all
right. Let's to the topic at hand.
Distracted.
Yeah, sorry. All right, so let's read the synopsis. You want to read the synopsis?
Let's take it from there. The synopsis of this, if you're not familiar, new show coming out on Apple TV called Legacy of Monsters. It's going to follow.
It's called Monarch, specifically. Monarch: Legacy of Monsters.
This guy.
Yeah,
okay.
No, if you're gonna get the information right, do not falsify our audience here. According to this, so here's the full synopsis. Following the thunderous battle between Godzilla and the Titans that leveled San Francisco, and the shocking revelation that monsters are real, Monarch: Legacy of Monsters tracks two siblings following in their father's footsteps to uncover their family's connection to the secretive organization known as Monarch. Clues lead them in the world of monsters and ultimately down the rabbit hole to Army Officer Lee Shaw, played by Kurt Russell and Wyatt Russell,
which is
his son.
Something I want to get into. Taking
place in the 1950s and half a century later when Monarch is threatened by what Shaw knows. The dramatic saga spanning 3 generations reveals buried secrets and the ways that epic, earth-shattering events can reverberate through our lives.
Wow. So dramatic.
You're
so
welcome.
intense.
You're welcome.
One of my favorite things here is obviously Kurt Russell. I'm
more hyped that Wyatt Russell's in it with him.
Well, and what's awesome is they're playing the same character.
Yes.
So that is the biggest takeaway for me of like one of the let's go. Because again, they want it to be a generational thing. So you're basically going to see his son playing him when he's younger.
Yes.
And first, so you're going to, obviously, I think the show is 10 episodes, I believe. Does it say that? I think it's 10. It's either 8 or 10, but I'm sticking with 10.
It does not say.
So we're going to get a ton of flashbacks back and forth. I guess it's his 2 daughters. It says 2 daughters following their father, so I'm assuming
it's 2 siblings. It doesn't say if they're male or female. But
so we're going to have
2
his
siblings.
Kids most likely finding him and then him telling them story. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's going to play out. But I just love that concept. And again, it's Kurt Russell, man.
I'm going to be honest with you. Kurt Russell can do no wrong.
No.
I mean, the man went through a Stargate.
He could have only done The Thing. And he'd be the greatest actor of all time.
Yes, Cecilia, Sludge and Spike are the other Dinobots. That is correct. But yeah, no, I mean, first of all, he looks great. In the shots that they've put out, like, he looks good. Like, I mean, obviously you can't tell much from it right now, but I'm very excited. I just love him in general, and I love the work that he does.
Like, I when they first announced this and he was attached, I was like, all right, we're gonna finally get good Monsterverse characters again, because like, unless somehow they butcher this too, which it doesn't seem like it. It seems like this is obviously the Titans. Godzilla's gonna be in it in some capacity.
Well, obviously.
Hopefully, that's not like one of the only shots because they get
that's it. That's the one shot throughout the whole series. That's the only time you see Godzilla.
And then like obviously there's his son who apparently bears no resemblance.
Who said that?
No, I'm just.
Oh my god! I was like, did somebody actually say that? Are they blind? No, I'm very excited about that choice. It's a great choice because Wyatt Russell actually has good like acting chops.
I've actually never seen him in anything.
Yes, you have. Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Who is he?
He plays the other guy.
The fake Captain America?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, that's him. It's 100% him.
Holy shit.
Yeah. That's 100% him.
All right. So yeah,
he's a good actor.
I retract my statement.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
And yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
So then I guess one of the guesses here is like, is this one of the siblings?
I'm not sure.
Maybe
they don't. Nobody.
Random actress in front of a bus.
I have not read anything that I don't even know who the actress is, to be honest. I'm sorry.
No,
and it's not mentioned anywhere yet, as far as I've read throughout the articles that I scoured the internet for.
And then one of the cool things too is like you can clearly tell that's the 2014 Godzilla due to his spikes. And yes, this is
Clearly.
Clearly. This is definitely taking place up to that point.
So now my question is, does this take place between after that point, like after the 2014 and before King of Monsters, or
maybe,
or is it taking place like after King of Monsters?
No, it's definitely not taking.
No, so you think it's
just
definitely
because
before
of the spikes. The spikes thing. If you go comic book wise, the comic in between 14 and 19, that's where he gets the spike change.
Okay.
Like I think he either powers up or like his
spikes just grow.
He has to like shed them, or because they got damaged, I think, in the fight with Mutu Prime.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Mutu Prime like destroys him, and then when his spikes grow back, or I forget if it's a power up or it's just him healing, they come back with the more traditional look. Mm-hmm. So like that was how they explained it. We never saw it in the movie or anything like that. Yeah. But that was that. So there's no way this is taking place.
Okay. Well, that's good at least.
So that's really cool. But again, my one, and we've talked about this before, especially with Skull Island, the anime series. My fear is you're gonna have these awesome characters.
It's just gonna be the characters, bro. There's not gonna be enough monsters.
No, not that. If the characters are great, that's cool. Like
but you think you'll get your monster fights that you want?
I just think I'm hoping like these characters don't die. And then again, we have another show where like you have great characters that cannot be brought into newer stuff. I'm so because now we're gonna have Kurt Russell, and they're just gonna be like, he died. You're like, come on, man.
The nice thing I like about this, okay, story wise, you're getting story after 2014, but you're also getting the story after Skull Island, like how Monarch really like. Okay,
well, and then I love how it says 1950s.
Right.
So now we're diving right back into like the origin. So like there's gonna be stuff revealed.
So if it's 1950s, it's gonna take place before Skull Island. Because Skull Island takes place at the end of Vietnam.
I don't think Skull Island's going to be a focal point of this.
No, I don't think so either. But I'm more mentioning it because of the end of that movie. How like, oh hey, we're Monarch. Like, oh look at this, mural of King Ghidorah on the wall.
Oh yeah, that's right. He could have been one of those guys behind the glass.
That's what I'm saying. Like maybe like they'll like do a time, like this is all completely speculation, but like maybe Kurt Russell worked for Monarch at some point.
Maybe.
So we'll see. It's hyped based on this. It looks cool. Of the 4 shots that we got,
Chris says John Goodman is rumored to be reprising his role. See, like that would be incredible.
That would be. Oh, so that makes sense because in Skull Island, obviously he makes the point of like, oh, monsters are real, and he's trying to get the government to realize that.
He is Monarch at the time.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's the only. He somehow keeps getting this funding to run Monarch, and everyone thinks he's nuts. It's one of those things, but that would be incredible.
That'd be cool.
For some flashback scenes. Bring back Loki.
Tom Hiddleston.
Nah, he's just Loki.
It's just Loki.
Nah,
that would. Oh my god! Imagine he shows up at some point.
But again, it would annoy me because the Monsterverse characters in all the new like movie stuff just
they
suck.
Really?
The Godzilla characters suck.
Yeah. I like Skull Island characters.
Yes. No.
Like Brie Larson and Tom Hiddleston, I think were great.
King Kong related is great. Like even Team Kong, the entire Team Kong section of Godzilla vs. Kong is way better than Team Godzilla and Millie Brown doing
Millie
nothing.
Bobby Brown? No, you're not a big fan of that one?
So, yeah, and I do hope like this for me, this show is going to be really good regardless of anything, just because it's Apple.
Yeah.
Apple TV.
I got to say it.
Doesn't put out bad content. It might not be content you like.
Right. I was just
but
about to say
that content is still, if it's in your lane, it's always good.
Yeah.
Like I've watched shows just like, you know what? Let me put this on. And it's like, even if it's not my cup of tea, I'm like, this is still really well.
Have you watched so there's we could go down the list, but like Ted Lasso, Severance.
Ted Lasso's phenomenal.
Like Shrinking. Have you watched Shrinking?
Shrinking's phenomenal.
Shrinking is fantastic.
Shrinking is absolutely
but that's like, you're absolutely right. It really does not, they haven't missed yet. As far as the ones that I've watched so far, they haven't really missed. And it's not even like, oh, it's just like mediocre. No, all 3 of those shows that I mentioned are all
the only
tier.
thing they miss with, honestly, is animated movies. Because like I've tried.
Which one?
I think there's like a lucky cat or something.
Oh, okay.
So I tried to watch that with Abby.
Yeah, not great.
That was actually a movie she didn't even want to finish. So like, you're like, yeah, okay,
Daddy,
like,
this movie's too long.
It wasn't that. It was like, this is boring. I was like, yeah. I was like, damn. I was like, all right, you know, yeah. And for an animated movie too.
She even sat through The Flash and was just like, this movie is long.
Yeah, but
no, yeah. I think this will be good. I think they do a lot better with their series.
Yeah,
so far.
Again, I really do hope that this ties and shows the monsters that have already existed.
Mm-hmm.
Don't throw new monsters into this.
Yeah,
I want to see Behemoth. I want to see, oh my God. I want to say, his name's not obviously Kumonga. It's the spider one though.
Oh, yeah.
Skila, I think it is. Yeah. Like, everything that was in King of the Monsters that got 3 seconds of screen time.
Yeah.
I want those.
That really did annoy me during King of Monsters. Like, you got all these cool monsters and then nothing happens.
I was also, but again, I mean,
you're focusing.
You're giving the core 4 their due.
Exactly.
So that's cool. So I'm good with that.
Yeah. So this is obviously with TV shows you have a longer format to tell the story that you want, which is why TV shows are usually more successful than movie versions because you have a longer time to tell the story that you want, and you can kind of like you can fluctuate with the budget. Like you don't have to like really mess with it too hard. I think this will. I don't know. I love every scene out of it right now. I think this will definitely come. I don't want to say it'll come out on top. I don't want to jinx it, but I do have higher expectations for it.
Yeah.
I think my expectations are right where they are.
I think it's going to be a phenomenal show. Yeah. Honestly.
I hope so.
But I one thing I definitely don't expect. I do not expect like monster fights or
I don't need that every episode. Like,
no, I just don't. I will be shocked if we even get one.
Really?
I think everything's going to be like them. I think we're going to get a ton of history between the monsters, and like it's all going to be.
But you still want to see monsters.
No, you're going to see them, and like, but it's going to be them observing them kind of deals, and like, you know, Godzilla comes and maybe like destroy some stuff, and like they show up to the aftermath. So like you, but I don't think we're getting Godzilla squaring up against anybody. I mean, I would love to be shocked and be wrong here.
I don't want to say no. I don't think you should say no because I think you would definitely find something. Because obviously, like, you know, you're putting in a Godzilla show, like, you gotta have some kind of monster fight. You have to have something.
Chris says, dude, after the Skull Island show. I mean, dude, that's an anime with a budget that's a
fraction of this.
That budget probably couldn't even cover Kurt Russell's salary to do the show. Like, so I'm not expecting. I'm not expecting crazy monster.
No, I don't think it's a big monster fight.
If we get one big monster fight for the entire series, I think.
As long as the build-up is good. Yeah,
exactly.
As long as the build-up is good, or there's like you see cuts of like Godzilla doing damage here and the monster he's gonna fight doing damage here. Even if you don't reveal who that monster is until like later on, that's fine. Like maybe they're tracking this enemy down, and all the while like Godzilla's doing his thing, where like I need to be the king of the monsters and go kill things.
Yeah, Des says Monster Battle. Yeah, I think Monster Battle for the finale is absolutely
definitely.
Sure.
If there's going to be a monster fight, it has to be the finale.
But
as long as the build-up is good. That's really all it is. As long as the build-up's good.
Yeah, no, the build-up's... Yeah, exactly. The build-up's good, and then what would be really cool... I don't know if you ever heard about the Ice Cube's son that was in King of the Monsters. He has been pitching he has been actually pitching a Monarch show. So
that's cool. Maybe that's where
I don't know. I don't think he's been confirmed to be in this. I don't think like that got greenlit. But he actually posted up all like the concept and everything for it. And one of the monsters was Gigan. So
oh boy,
I don't know if there's going to be any crossover to that. If his character is even going to show up in this, or if they're just two completely unrelated projects. And one got greenlit and one didn't. but goddamn, give me a Monsterverse Gigan. Because that would be.
I'm curious to see what the character design would look like what his actual monster design would be.
Yeah, and then again, like, is he an alien? And like, they clearly have no issue making things aliens because Ghidra, they were like, Ghidra's not from this planet.
That's true. That's true.
I think an awesome thing that would happen, like for the finale fight, is if you saw they actually did Mutu Prime, and you see like the spine thing, like
that'd be cool.
That would be awesome.
That would be cool.
Because again,
Chris says we're asking for 2014 all over again. I mean, are we?
Yeah, but see, 2014 has.
It's not a bad movie.
2014 is an amazing half movie. Because all the characters are great, and then you kill the main character for no reason.
Yes.
And then they give Aaron Taylor Johnson nothing to do.
Nothing. Yeah, they give him nothing to work with.
He just happens to be at every monster scene, but like he doesn't have any dialogue. He just experiences what's happening.
Yeah, maybe that's...
So that's why like he does say like that's kind of what I am expecting from the show. Like these characters experience the monsters.
That's what I'm saying. So that's more like a storytelling tool, as you as the audience are experiencing what the character is experiencing. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I think it's subjective. I think it's up to.
Let's ask the chat. If there, would you be severely disappointed if there's like, let's see, if we got 10 episodes, if we didn't get 3 or 4 monster fights, or would you be cool with this being just a deep dive into the monster lore?
Like the history of the monsters, trying to figure out where they're coming from.
The title is Legacy of Monsters. So yeah. We're about to get some serious lore. It's just
I'm always down for
pay
lore.
off?
I'm always down for lore. Good story is always good.
Watch it pay off in like a giant, like it's literally Godzilla versus all of those monsters from King of the Monsters, and I'm just like blown away.
Imagine
that'd be incredible, but who knows? They've really released nothing, and they've kept it pretty tight-lipped, which I actually appreciate. Like I like that when the show
when you have something, give us something. But in the meantime, like leave us with stuff like leave us to the point where like we need to see it. Like we're at the point now where I have to see this.
Experience the monsters fight. You mean like every Godzilla monster movie?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand. Are you a Godzilla fan and don't like when Godzilla fights?
Did they announce did they say how long the runtime?
That's what was going to be my next comment. I don't know.
Yeah, because if it's an hour, then like I'm totally good. If this is a
typical,
all Apple series are an hour though.
No, Ted Lasso's only half hour. The longest episode was like 45 minutes or something like that, maybe an hour. But most of the time they ran under a half hour.
You just gotta believe.
Just gotta believe. I hope they're longer than an hour because there's too much. There's too much deep dive there.
Well, we'll see.
If they're about 40 minutes, I think it'll be good. If they're an hour, you better give me freaking like I better know how Godzilla got his scales. You know what I mean? Like you better give me something.
Yeah, well, I'm really excited to like, because you saw it in 14 when they dropped the bomb and you like see Godzilla like rise and all that stuff. So I'm very curious if we actually get clarification because they've always said you awaken something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always like, and I guess that's what they're not going to go the mutation route. Because again, he's a Titan. He's been on Earth forever. Yeah. So never mind.
I don't think they'll go that route.
Idea out the window.
I hope they don't go that route.
They can't. That would be retconning
everything,
the entire MonsterVerse and be a disaster.
Yeah. No.
So
if they're considering him a Titan, no, he's been there since time began.
Yeah. Well, that's the entire premise of Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire is, the new monster that the new Kong controls or has some kind of control over, this ice monster, is like the original Titan.
Okay.
And it's kind of, he's like the opposite of Godzilla. Like he shoots ice, Godzilla shoots fire, So there's kind of that.
I'm curious. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm excited for it. I think it'll be good. That's always my hope, but I think it will be good. Their choices so far are good.
Chris says, I think Bryan Cranston should be brought back to life from future movies. They can go to route that Monarch faked his death to have him work for them. I mean, dude, I would be all for that with some of the super flimsy writing in the Monsterverse movies. If I can buy them Wi-Fi energy sources through the Earth, I can buy that. I'll totally buy that. And it's such a weird thing. And I remember, like, if you see interviews with Cranston, he even was like, yeah, I thought it was a weird choice. Because, like, I'm pretty sure he's an actual Godzilla fan, too. Like, so I think...
I wouldn't be surprised.
He was kind of just like, this is what they wanted me to do. So I just died. You know?
Des, they're usually a week to week. They don't do full season drops for Apple TV. I think every show, at least every show that I've watched, has always been a week to week show. Like Ted Lasso was every week.
Yes. No, there will be no binging.
Yeah.
As much as I would love to be like, all right, we're gonna watch all 10 of these episodes.
That
today.
is becoming a more popular format, by the way, because I'm noticing that a bunch of the Netflix shows are doing that. There's a show that I watch, which is, in my opinion, how live action anime should be done. It's called The Uncanny Counter. It's a Korean live action show. Long story short, it's about a group of people that are able to banish evil spirits from our plane of existence. And that comes out week to week, but they drop 2 episodes a week.
Okay.
But like even like they did it with The Witcher. Like, oh, here's the first half, here's the second half. Like, I think
I don't like that format.
I don't mind the week to week format. I don't like the breaking it up format.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't like the
give me 5 episodes now and here's 4 episodes later.
Yeah, it's just weird. Well, I think, a big reason of that was The Mandalorian, because The Mandalorian was really the first new show that returned that format, and I think everyone realized, like,
Disney does it all the time now for their shows.
Instead of generating a week's worth of like hype, because everyone watched it within a week. Yeah, we saw Baby Yoda forever, basically. So I think that it's also everything up until The Mandalorian really, like, there were not many shows doing the week to week. So that was the first show that came back. I mean, I remember when it first dropped, I was kind of like, that's weird. Yeah. Like, I gotta wait next week to see the next. What is this? Yeah.
Ahsoka's coming. Is coming, which is, speaking of The Mandalorian, but it is going to be a week to week. The first premiere is going to be 2 episodes. They said they're going to drop the first 2 episodes. I'm like, yes, give it to me. I'm down for it. I think it's a better format, the week to week, to be honest.
I think it's better for. Honestly, I think it's better financially for people and society.
It's true. It makes you learn patience, I guess.
Yeah,
like you gotta wait for it.
Yeah, instead of like somehow you just realize, like, I just sat on the couch for 7 hours. You know what I mean? Because like come on, let's face it, we've all binged before, and like that's kind of what happens.
Oh, like, dude, like when the first season of Stranger Things dropped, don't tell me you didn't watch the first season in one shot.
Did. I'm not saying I don't binge stuff, but at the same time, like, I appreciate now where it's like, oh, okay, this just is gonna take an hour of my day. Yeah. Instead of like I got sucked in. Yeah. And then I'm like, where did my day go? And I've been on the couch for the whole day. And then Kelly's looking at me the same way. Like,
have you gone to the bathroom today?
Like, what have we done? I don't know what we did. So yeah, I appreciate that format now.
I do. I appreciate it a little more.
It takes everyone's time into consideration, because again, it's like, all right, we watched this for an hour. Now we can. You know what it is too. You trigger to do something else.
You know what it is too. The nice thing is if you want to consume other content while you watch your one episode, you're like, all right, now I gotta wait till next week. Oh, let's watch this. Let's watch the next episode of this show.
Now you binge 4 shows at once.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You could spend 7 hours and watch 4 shows.
And then you're like, next week we get to do it again.
Exactly. But yeah. No, I'm excited. I think it's gonna be good.
Cece, I know that's how it used to be. I absolutely know. I grew up with TGIF Fridays.
Come on, the Disney afternoon. Yeah, don't give me that. I'm aware.
I know, but there was a good, I want to say, like, good 5-year period where when Netflix took over, binging became the norm. Yeah. And then everyone was trying to copy
a lot of people
Netflix format.
And now everything's going back.
Well, I'm saying and Disney Plus came out and was like, we're gonna do it the way it used to be.
Well, that's how you keep your subscribers, man.
And it worked, man, because again, there is no week when the Mandalorian is out, the Mandalorian dominates that entire week of content across the floor.
Yeah,
so
you're right.
And then everyone's like, "Oh wait, that can still work."
It does. Honestly, Paramount Plus, all their shows are like that. Every show is a week-to-week show.
They did Halo, right?
They did Halo.
Yeah,
that
doesn't matter.
Out of
Doesn't
that,
matter.
honestly, out of every show I've watched on Paramount Plus, I think that's the worst one. If you watch Mayor of Kingstown with Jeremy Renner, fantastic show.
Is it?
Yeah, it's so good. Tulsa King with Stallone, fantastic show.
I love everything with Stallone, so I gotta check that out.
And it's all done by the same guy. It's all produced and co-written by Taylor Sheridan, who does Yellowstone as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
I've heard good things about that show. That show's phenomenal, apparently.
Yellowstone takes a season to get into, and I realize why. So the whole first season, you're watching that show, and you're just like, wow, all these characters suck. Like, they're all assholes.
Bad people.
They are. They're awful people.
It's Game of Thrones.
Yeah, you're like, oh my
season,
god,
you're
it's like, why? The
who
dad's a
would
jerk.
Yeah.
The brother sucks. The sister's just insane, and you're just like, what is even happening right now? And then you realize as the season goes on why they're like that, and it's really the whole premise of that show.
The character development is just phenomenal.
Phenomenal, and you develop it into a point where like you realize why they're being assholes, why they're doing what they're doing.
Wait, there was a YouTube commercial during the live stream? Why?
Really?
I'll have to...
That is weird.
All right, thanks for bringing that up. I'll double check the settings next time.
We did not add that.
Did they...
Was it a cool commercial?
Well, no.
Was it for like Gatorade?
I know there's a box that you can check to like during your live stream. We'll add a mid break or whatever. But I've never checked that box. So unless they like did an update,
maybe
where
by default.
They're like, this is the new default to
Yeah.
monetization. So
sorry guys, we didn't mean to do that.
Apologize for that. I'll have to make sure I uncheck that for the next show.
Cece, was it a commercial for Gatorade?
It was probably.
I hope it was like 10 seconds.
Well, no, I'm sure it should be skippable.
I hope so.
Damn.
Imagine
I mean, don't
it's
get
not.
me wrong. You want to do a super chat or send any money here. Obviously, watching the ads generates some revenue, so like totally appreciate that. It helps.
Thank you for sticking around.
It definitely helps for sure to support the channel. But yeah, I definitely don't want live stream ads. That's just weird. Unless they're my own, like this one. Hold on. No, we're just gonna do it again.
Do it again.
Uh-uh.
Here it comes. Can you do it? Can you do it?
Yeah, Kelly's finger puppets went nuts. And now the camera doesn't know what's going on. We got $35 for the shrimp.
Oh, baby.
Flies.
A happy moment. There's a fully second ad that provides.
Tequila makes English optional.
Well, let's be honest. When I'm sober, English is optional.
This is pretty much as Barbie as it's gonna get.
So his eyes widening. Oh man, I love it. I love that thing, man.
Yeah,
the
that
door just like head just eyes widening is fantastic.
The Diamogen breakdown that got cut out from the last auction show that and I did is also amazing. So,
but yeah.
Anything else? Mortal Kombat Reptile came out, but I could literally talk about that for like 3 hours. That's actually something I'd like to.
We'll make that into a full session for another episode.
Yeah, so some upcoming things about the channel that's about to happen. Obviously, the Square Table is here to stay. The 100th auction show is 9/3 Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're doing a live giveaway, for only live viewers only. Tune
Please
in.
stop by. Come on by.
Yeah, tune in if you're just watching, subscribe. And then for the channel itself, when we hit 2,000 subs, we're also going to be doing a giveaway. We're about 600 away, so
Tell your friends,
share,
please.
tell grandma.
Tell grandma. Tell your cousins.
And then one of the other things Evandro are going to start doing now is like actual, a lot of the videos that we've been uploading come directly from this show and kind of cut down and more digestible. But what we want to do now is at least once a month put out a like actual recorded deep dive video. So our first one's gonna be
TMNT.
Yes.
The new movie based on the new movie Mutant Mayhem. We're basically gonna just give you a kind of like breakdown of it, and then break down every aspect we thought that was important, and then have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
And we're gonna try to not make it too long because AJ and I could talk for hours about things.
That's the good thing about this. Everything's gonna be recorded and trimmed. There shouldn't be any ranting or anything like that where we just go off tangent like we do here live. So it will just be really aiming for 10 to 15 minutes max.
Yeah.
I really don't want to go past that.
Let's try not to.
We'll
give it a shot. We'll do our best.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. But no, it's gonna be we're gonna put a lot of like work into it, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it.
And then the auction show in general is back into the format full time. It will always be the first Sunday of every month. Really excited to have that back.
Yeah.
Because that's where it all began.
I mean, it's the foundation, baby.
Exactly. And it's just good to have time to be able to do that and then do this. So, and then shorts. If you haven't noticed, shorts been going crazy. And like we're going to have one tomorrow featuring this bad boy and how we unbox it, put it together. And then, I don't know. There's going to be a lot. I'm trying. My goal is literally one a day.
You might see more of AJ's toys come into play as we put them all together again.
I'm pretty much going to be like this is going to be a way for me to actually finally catalog my entire collection.
Oh my god!
So at least once a day, you're going to see something on a turntable spinning, and so it's going to be everything. Now it's going to be Hot Toys. We're getting into DC.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
I'm super excited about that too because that's like a fun format now, and it's actually in terms of like reach, it's amazing.
Well, because it's easily digestible. People only really stick around for 30 seconds.
The most you can make a short on YouTube anyway. I know like TikTok and
I think on Instagram you could do it for like a minute.
Well, yeah, the longest you can do it on YouTube is a minute.
Yeah, that's
the absolute cap. But like most we've done is like 15 seconds.
No, I think this one's gonna be cool as we put that together. But I think
I'm gonna God bless you. Unbelievable.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you. But yeah, no, I think the future of this channel is gonna be really good. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm
excited to be a part of it.
And thank you all so much for tuning in and making this what it's become over these last couple years. And I'm excited to finally like ramp this back up to what it was.
Yeah, let's do it.
Like this show that just happened. I don't know I think I almost like died because I didn't drink enough water.
And he's like, yo, I can't make this long.
We literally built the Megazord, and like I sat down and was like, dude, I don't know what's going on with me right now. I think my body's like on fire. Like my heart monitor is like, you're at 140. I'm like, but I'm sitting, so this is not good.
Not good.
So I literally went upstairs and chugged like 4 glasses of water, and then had another one, and now I feel normal again. So that's good.
You were dehydrated.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time outside in the heat.
Word to the wise: don't
drink your water.
Don't barbecue all day long and not drink any water.
Yeah, just drink water.
In the sun.
Just drink water. That's all I tell you. But again, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time. We know it's not as long as our normal show is, but we wanted to we didn't want to go another week without it.
Exactly. So
you and I could talk for hours. So it's always good to sit down and actually have people to talk with.
And I'm pretty excited to see how I cut this up and this comes out.
I'm excited.
Yeah, man.
I'm ready. All right.
Well, as always, like and subscribe.
Please.
Be on the lookout for more content from Kaiju Live. Oh my God, you forgot it again.
I forgot it again.
Oh my God.
All squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares.
Have a good night. I don't even have a fade to black anymore.
No, you don't.
I don't even know what's happening.
Fade to black.
I don't know.
I mean, you might as well. just the Godzilla image.